Next speaker is Rick Hoogendoorn, is that you?
Hoogendoorn. Yes.
Oh, Hoogendoorn. Okay, good evening, welcome.
Thank you. Mayor and Council, thank you for not turfing the Finlayson turf so that soccer players of all ages can continue to play the game we love, rain or shine. I signed up to speak here tonight because I was in panic mode and frankly gobsmacked and angry hearing that you were even considering replacing the turf with grass given the meetings we'd had with staff. My name is Rick Hoogendoorn, a Victoria resident. I am president of the South Vancouver Island Classic Soccer Association. There are over 600 players in our league kicking a ball, all of them over 40, over 48, or over 55. More than 130 players are over the age of 60. 3 dozen are over 70, and one of them is 80. You will not see the standings for our games in the Times Colonist newspaper, but if you Google it, you'll find an article about us last year entitled, "Soccer Eases Syrians Move to Greater Victoria." I love that we could welcome those men to our league. It has been an honor to be their teammate, and I have been moved by Councillor Dubois' recent comments on the power of sport in welcoming new citizens to the community. Health-wise, research clearly indicates that playing recreational-level soccer lowers cholesterol and reduces blood pressure. Speaking from experience, threatening to take away a soccer player's all-weather turf field increases one's blood pressure and causes sleep deprivation. The loss of the Finlayson turf would have had an enormous impact on our league. As just one example, our annual Soccer Fest tournament was moved from Sydney to Victoria more than a decade ago because the Finlayson all-weather field was constructed. I checked the City of Victoria website yesterday at 3:55 p.m. The sports field status showed all grass fields as closed. Finlayson was open. The issue is all-weather accessibility. Extra grass fields don't help with that. All the practices happened yesterday, and I got to play last night in the rain because Finlayson has artificial turf. My blood pressure went down. I slept a little better. And if you can't sleep, you can always Google. Interestingly, here's something bizarre. The City of Langford just undertook a 4-fold increase in their use of artificial turf in order to cut down on lawn maintenance costs. And developers there now have to use artificial turf instead of grass for future developments. I submit perhaps we can recycle the old Finlayson turf by selling it to Langford and their developers. To further offset the turf replacement costs, Victoria could offer fence board advertising opportunities at Finlayson. I will commit to purchasing the first one of those market value fence boards for my own business if Council decides to approve such a measure. These already exist at other fields around Greater Victoria. I am also willing to ask our membership to contribute some of our association's surplus funds toward the replacement of the Finlayson turf. As president of ASVICSA, I commit to improving the usage of boot brushes at turf fields across Greater Victoria, which will further limit or eliminate the spread of those tiny rubber pellets. Finally, because I watched your 2-hour meeting dedicated to Topaz Park the other day, and in preparation for tonight, I Googled sports organizations and climate change. And thus I found the United Nations Sports for Climate Action Framework. This was news to me. As president of the South Vancouver Island Classic Soccer Association, I commit to putting this UN initiative on the agenda of our association's next AGM in April with the idea of adopting their 5 principles. I'm sure some of our members would jump at the chance to spearhead this. Perhaps other soccer leagues and sports organizations in Greater Victoria would consider doing the same thing. Thank you, Mayor and Council, for taking a leadership role in thinking globally and acting locally. I dare say the soccer community would have given you a straight red card if you had voted to replace the turf with grass. However, our organization also has a responsibility to ensure the climate crisis does not reach a point in future where Council no longer has a choice in the matter. I do care that future generations will get to play soccer well into their senior years, just like we're doing. We look forward to collaborating with you on the Topaz Park Improvement Project. My name is Rick Hoogendoorn, and that's my pitch.
Thank you so much. That was very energetic.